morning and welcome to America's Home Cooking. I have some cube steaks that I poured some buttermilk on after I cleaned them and pat them dry. Cleaned the gunk off from them cutting them with the machines and all. And then I poured about maybe 3 tablespoons or so on. I have some all blend oil that my all blend that I make, and I'm adding some butter, and I'm going to be frying these up. But I have some breadcrumbs that have seasonings in them. I'm going to use them and see what comes out. I'm going to leave this out just in case I need it. The breadcrumbs have salt and pepper. I use my all blend salt, so when I say salt, that's what I'm talking about. I put tarragon in it and parsley in it this time. So I said, what the heck? Why not? Just trying something different. I play around with these things. I have butter and oil in the frying pan. You can see it right there. It's melting right now. Well, it should be. I hope if I turned it on. I'm going to need a rack for this. Man, something just came through the news feed. It said, can't use certain cutting boards. They sit there and say you can't, you've got to eat cholesterol. They say you have to do this and you have to do that. And you know something? When women were in the kitchen before they started getting so modernized, and we're talking about the preservatives and these meals that you buy that are already pre-done, we're killing ourselves. That's it. I'm just going to say it. We're killing ourselves. I am pressing the breadcrumbs in to the meat because it is a cube steak. I got them from the Staten Island Meats. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? So I'm just patting it in. Let me bring you down. I don't know if you can see because it's just that there's just not a lot of room. So you can't use aluminum foil. Can't use cutting boards. You can't use this. The next thing I expect them to say is cast iron pots we can't use as well. I have never cut fat out of the diet. We eat it. I serve it on the steaks and stuff. It's just crazy what's going on. These are people's opinions. I hope, you know, you'll know if you're eating well if your children aren't sick. You know you're eating well when you get old and you look good for your age and you don't have aches and pains. I try to bring simple things to your attention instead of having you do things drastically, because I know we can't do everything. We don't have that kind of money. People don't have that kind of money, but if we can do certain things and enrich our food, we're doing a lot better. But these people are saying, you have to do this. No, you don't. It's your choice. The thing is that, what do you want to do? I know people like their muffins. I know people like this and they like that. So what I try to do is say, okay, you're going to do this. Let's do it this way where you can get what you want. I mean, I'm not interested in buying everything to get every stain and stuff out of my clothes. Either be careful, because that's what women used to say, because he washed by hand. You can't be neat. That's why we have napkins at the table. That's why cups and saucers were built a certain way. All these things were to keep things clean, where a wife didn't have to work so hard washing clothes by hand. We didn't even, when women had long skirts to the ground, For a long time, there were no underclothes. Then they came into fashion. People just don't have, you know, in between everything they're saying, they're making it difficult on housewives. Oh, I know, for some women that is such a dirty word. But it requires a lot of work. And I'm always trying to get away from chemicals, which I'm always talking about. But that's about as high as I can get you without tilting you over. I have new potatoes and I'm boiling them right now. What I'm going to do with them is going to surprise you. Because what I'm going to do with these new potatoes when they get done is I'm going to take them out, let them cool, and I'm going to make a vinaigrette and make a vinaigrette potato salad. Oh! Ooh. I haven't done that in a long time. Not yet. And I'll save the potato water because it has stuff in it that our hair needs. Besides, if you make bread and use that potato water, bread goes up very quickly. No, it's very disheartening. I could see women just sitting there say, I give up. So I figured if you have knowledge, you can help your family. If you don't want to listen, well, that's okay. You know, you can look things up if you have any questions. It's real easy. Well, it's not that easy. That's a lie. I'm not going to say that. Let's just say it's a lot of work you have to do, cross-reference and stuff. But once you do it, it's all there. I mean, it tells you point blank. We need trace minerals. We don't need these other minerals that they're putting in our food. And what gets me is the government has allowed this. That's what the lobbyists are doing. I mean, the government used to have to come to us, the people, if they wanted a project. They would come to us, and if we approved, we would buy savings bonds, and that was their allowance. Now they can spend money up the yin-yang, and they're saying we have to pay for it. I don't have to pay anybody. If I make a bill, I think I should pay for it. I think Congress should pay for their bills. I don't think we should have to pay. I'm sorry. I didn't ask them to do that. Food and Drug Administration is supposed to protect us. They're not doing that. They let the companies that make these drugs and stuff give them to us, but they leave out the side effects. And then the side effects come years later down the road. And then it takes them forever to figure out what went wrong. Hello? We have lost the veto power of controlling Congress. We have lost all these powers. We need a president to come into office and give us back our powers. It's ours. If you want to make something of your life, I mean, you have to sit there and want it bad enough to go for it, you know? But anyway, that's what's going on now. They're finding out a lot of the stuff they gave us is hurting us. And it's making us sick. We're getting diseases that we didn't have before. And if you broke a bone, like they said when I was a little girl, the biggest thing was people didn't die of cancer, they were dying of heart attacks. So they come after who does the cooking? The wife. So basically they're saying, you're killing your husband. No, we're doing the best we can. That's why I don't trust this plant-based meat. No, I'm not going to trust that. No, I am not. Sorry. This girl is not trusting it. I don't care what they say. I am not interested in it, nor do I want it. Almost. Now they say you don't cook the beef all the way, you cause your own cancer. Listen, if I went through everything that I have researched and listened to, you can come to the point and say, look, I'm not going to eat anymore. And you might as well, as soon as you're born, sign your death, you'll make your will out as a child because you're going to be dead before you hit 30. We are doing this to ourselves. We are allowing companies to give us stuff that's going to kill us. Oh, I expect them to say something about cast iron pots, too. I'm looking for that one, too. And my mother used a lot of cast iron pots. Okay, they're done. Out in a minute. Get these cool. So I have trouble with the FDA, Food and Drug Administration. I definitely have a problem with the Agricultural Department of Management, ADM. Yeah, I don't trust them either now. There was a time when I could sit there, and my mother showed me how to do this, is you could talk to farmers and he would come and deal with them. You could pay him for a calf, and he'd call you when the cow was fully grown, and then you could sit there and have them butcher, and you pay him a flat rate, and you get all that meat. It's not that way anymore. If a farmer had done a big garden and stuff and had extra, a farmer would sit there and say $5 for a basket. He gives you a basket and a little shovel, and you can dig up whatever you want. As long as that basket holds everything, it's $5 flat rate. So you can go and pick whatever you want. You can go to the parks and we picked nuts in the park. On the side of the road, if there was fruit growing, we were allowed to do it. I mean, it was there. It was always there. Now my girlfriend didn't eat flowers. It had a sweet sour, I don't even remember the part. It had a sweet sour taste that we used to love. On the way to the store to pick up a bag of potato chips, we would sit there and we would pick the flowers. And eat the sap from it, which was really a sweet sour taste. We really liked it a lot. Kathy got me started on that. Her name is Kathy Cross. I really don't know. She I just say, if I mention these names, I know probably most of them are dead. She always got me in trouble. So I'm going to go way out on a limb here. I believe the problems we're having with family and children not listening and everything else, and destruction and shortness of parents and stuff, I think this is all nutrition. I think the food, as much food as you eat, you are not getting what your body needs. When your body gets what it needs, it only has to eat a little bit. If you eat too much, then you put weight on. So I'm going to go there. So I'm going to say nutrition, because when I use my gelatin, we're too relaxed to get angry and start a fight or anything else. People, this road rage and stuff, people are shorting out. They're only shorting out because the body's shorting out. You can't reason, you can't think straight, you can't get any of this going. So if you eat really well and your body gets everything it needs, it quiets down, it's more amenable, there's more pleasantry, you feel good about life, you feel good about yourself and all. But if you don't have these feelings and you're pretending you have those feelings, then it's not real. When you wake up, you're old and haggard. I could see somebody wake up and be a little tired. But I don't even get sleep in my eyes. I don't have bad breath when I wake up. I don't have that film in my mouth or any of this. This is all disappeared. And I haven't had it for God. And headaches are a thing of the past with me. I haven't had a headache. No. My husband's been dead almost 15 years. You know, for that. Almost 20, 25 years. That's a long time. I haven't had any headaches. I just decided, I was going to change. Some things my husband would not let me. He did not like the mixture of kelp and salt, so I had to really work on that. He liked white bread, which gave me a problem. Because I knew whole wheat had more for it. And he wasn't overly fond of it. So I had my problems, if you wish to say, working with a husband who was sort of, set in his ways on some things. But he was very amenable about a lot of stuff. There was just a few things that he didn't like. So I had to learn how to maneuver around, And don't think you can jump into cooking like this just overnight. You have to work into it. Because your family is not going to want it. They are going to fight you, and you're going to feel defeated. So you just sit there and you keep plugging at it, and you let them know. You don't want to eat? Go to bed hungry. Believe you me, it works. If you have little children, then you're really blessed because you can work them into it really, really easy. I mean, I like having buttermilk in the morning. I eat yogurt. My sons were eating homemade yogurt, God, and they were very little. That was one of the foods they started. I got them on that right away because I know that feeds the digestive system. Okay, here are the steaks. I don't know how they're going to taste. This is easy on it. But we'll see. Now, let me go get my other cutting board, because my other cutting board is a drain board. Now, if you can get your potatoes cold and let them sit overnight, that's great. I can't, so I'm sort of pushing these. We have to be careful how much garlic we put into it, because it can make it quite spicy. Let me see. Where are the bowls? I'm having to find my bowls. I'm going to take these potatoes and I'm just going to half them. And they're still hot, so they will absorb the vinaigrette. I should have done these yesterday, but I was just too tired after I finished the laundry room. You want to quarter your potatoes, you can, but I just think they'll fall apart, so I just rather, you know. Okay, my fingers aren't getting hot. You can use the red ones if you wish, or you could use the purple small new potatoes. Now these are called new potatoes. I don't know what they call them today, but we called these new potatoes when I was growing up. They're really hot. Let me get my scallions and I'll be right back. Okay, I've got the scallions. I'm taking 2 out. Mine are big. If you have small ones, you might want to use more than 2. But I have some really big ones. See, today they call these green onions, but they're scallions. They just call them different names. Yeah, 2 for me is more than enough. If they're small, you might want to use 3. Let me get the other stuff. Now, if you add too much garlic, your potatoes will be extremely hot, because too much garlic does have a heat to it, believe it or not, and it can burn your throat. So you have to be careful with your garlic. You want the flavor of garlic, but you don't want to be overwhelmed by the garlic. This garlic smells very strong. This is something else I always keep in the house, is garlic. We're going to mince this garlic up. Another thing is, when you're making this dish, or you're making a tomato cucumber salad, it's best that you add the oil first to coat everything, then you add the vinegar. Other than that, the vegetables absorb so much vinegar, they become acid, and then when you bite it, you choke on it, and then the oil sits on the bottom and cannot sit on the vegetables. To give it that coating, so the oil can be absorbed, but not as much. So remember that. So I'll be adding my oil first and my vinegar second after I toss. Well, wherever this garlic is growing, I can tell you it's going to be a very cold winter because the skins are very, very thick. Your vegetables have thick skins, then you know it's going to be very, very cold. Some more information I checked out for people with a thyroid problem. It's not one vitamin or one thing that you eat, it's the whole diet. There is so much that is involved in it. I read, and it just seems that it's one to another, to another, to another, to another. So it's very difficult. I try, but I can say that if you are developing a problem, be it active or slow, I'm going to go on my grandmother's advice, is that you need the organ. So you have this problem or it's developing. If you can find dehydrated thyroid, if you have a thyroid problem, you can make sure it doesn't have chemicals and it's not synthetic. If you can buy it, by all means, and if you take it every time you eat, it should help you. Now that's my grandmother's advice. Except she'd say eat the organ. Well, a lot of people are going to eat, some organs, so, I sit there and say, well, dehydrate them. If they're dehydrated, you can buy them like that. That should help you. And now, this is going to hit home with women. Makeup, they found out, which I already knew because my skin is a telltale sign. My skin will tell me if there's chemicals or poisons in the makeup that we use. My skin will peel off my face. It's done it 6 times in my life, so I know I cannot wear makeup. You put in your lifetime about 5 pounds of that stuff on your face, starting as a young girl. Trying makeup and going through it and all. And you're poisoning and killing your cells on your face. So by the time you hit 30 or so, you wonder why you look the way you do. What do I put on my face? I put oils on my face, like I told you. I've used special oils on my face all this time. Very easy. I think I spend, $10 for a bottle that lasts me for months. It's all natural. Came through the ARE. You're reading the actual formula. And you can rub it all over your body, wherever there's skin. And after a nice shower or a warm bath, and go to sleep, and you'll be shocked at how nice your skin looks the next morning. You're probably saying, where do you get this? You can get it on Amazon. It's called Natural Magic. That is the name of it. And what's in it? Extra virgin olive oil, peanut oil, lanolin, which I have talked about and informed you what lanolin does and how it gets into the skin and keeps wrinkles away. I'm going to add 3 tablespoons of, if you wish, olive oil or any oil that you want. This is my all blend I'm going to use. Don't worry, we're going to get salt and stuff on this. But I need some more oil on this. So let me dry my hand before I drop this whole bottle. I'm going to add 3 more tablespoons. So it's actually 6 tablespoons of water for a bag of these potatoes. Salt on this. I'm going to use some iodized salt because I know the kelp will mess the potatoes up on this. And let me get the other seasonings and I'll be back. Okay, I'm going to add some black pepper. You can use any vinegar, but I'm using apple cider vinegar because I know apple cider vinegar keeps our body alkaline, which prevents us from getting sick. So that's why I use it a lot. And I should only need 2 tablespoons because every 3 tablespoons of oil you add 1 tablespoon vinegar. I guess you could use lemon juice if you wished as well, you know. Now this has to sit and cool, and that is a vinaigrette potato. And this is great for as a cold dish, that's why I'm going to let it sit. Needs a little more salt. Okay, that's it. It just has to get cold now. So listen, take care and have a great day.